Warriors die. Legends endure. But in Warhammer 40K, the greatest heroes do not rest. They rise again, entombed in walking engines of war. Dreadnoughts are more than war machines. They are tombs of the mightiest space marines, warriors too broken to fight, yet too valuable to be lost. Suspended between life and death, they slumber in dreamless agony, awakened only for battle, where they unleash centuries of experience in a storm of fire and fury. Some have fought for 10,000 years. Some are revered as relics. Others are cursed with madness, their shattered minds barely clinging to sanity. From the ancient Contemptor to the monstrous Leviathan, from the berserk Blood Angels, Furioso, to the legendary Bjorn the Fell-Handed. Every chapter has its own towering, deathless champions. This is every single Space Marine dreadnought explained. Before we continue with the video and my further explanation about the lore Warhammer 40K Legions, I want to ask for your help. I'm trying to reach 5,000 subs before the grim darkness future starts, so I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and help me out. And let's win this battle together. Okay, let's continue. Origins and purpose of dreadnoughts. There is no greater honor for a fallen space marine than to be interred within a dreadnought. But do not mistake this for a gift. It is a curse as much as it is a duty. Dreadnoughts are the walking tombs of the Adeptus Astartes, where mortally wounded warriors are sealed within cybernetic sarcophagi. Their bodies are shattered beyond repair, but their minds, still sharp, still hungry for war, are wired directly into towering war engines of ceramite and adamantium. Suspended in dreamless sleep, they awaken only when their chapter calls upon them once more. Some sleep for centuries, only to rise and find that the Imperium they fought for has changed beyond recognition. Others never sleep at all, their restless spirits raging against the prison of their own body. Their only relief? The battlefield, the carnage of war. Once they were legends. Now they are myths made of metal and fury. They are the wisdom of the past and the firepower of the future, and they never stop fighting. Standard patterns of dreadnoughts. A dreadnought is not just a machine. It is a monument to war. And like all monuments, they come in different forms, each crafted for a different battlefield role. Across the Imperium, several core designs have endured the test of time, from the ancient days of the Great Crusade to the endless wars of the 41st millennium. Castraferum pattern. The most common design in modern Space Marine chapters, the Castraferum dreadnought, is what most imagine when they hear the name. A squat, boxy frame with massive arms bristling with firepower, it is a walking tank designed for both close combat and ranged warfare. Its standard loadout varies: twin-linked autocannons, las cannons, or assault cannons for ranged firepower, or massive power fists capable of crushing Chaos Marines like insects. It is versatile, dependable, and brutally effective. Contemptor pattern. Older than the Imperium itself, the Contemptor Dreadnought is a relic of the Great Crusade, more agile, more powerful, and far more rare than the Castraferum. The Contemptor's design incorporates advanced reactor technology and superior armored plating. Once a staple of the Legiones Astartes, they were nearly lost to time, with only a handful remaining in the deepest vaults of Loyalist chapters. Now, with the resurgence of Primarchs technology, Contemptors are slowly returning to the battlefield, their ancient fury reborn. Leviathan pattern. If the Contemptor is a warrior reborn, the Leviathan Dreadnought is a walking apocalypse, towering over even its ancient cousins. The Leviathan was designed not for balance, but for sheer destruction. Armed with massive storm cannons, cyclonic melta-lances, or siege drills capable of tearing through city walls, it is a frontline battering ram. Though most chapters consider it too unstable and aggressive for prolonged deployment, the Leviathan is the ultimate answer to attrition warfare, when all that matters is total annihilation. Deridio pattern. Some dreadnoughts march into battle. The Deridio pattern stands its ground. A heavy weapons platform, it is the Imperium's answer to aerial and armored threats. Twin-linked las cannons, autocannons, or even Volkite weaponry turn it into a bulwark against enemy armor and flyers, ensuring nothing escapes its killing field. Redemptor Pattern. A gift of the Primarchs era, the Redemptor Dreadnought represents the future of Space Marine warfare. Bigger, faster, and stronger than its predecessors, it embodies the raw aggression of Guilliman's new warriors. With advanced servos and an expanded reactor core, the Redemptor is the next evolution in the Imperium's unrelenting war machine. Specialized variants of Dreadnoughts. Not all Dreadnoughts are created equal. While the standard patterns dominate the battlefields of the Imperium, some warriors require a machine as unique as their legacy. Whether ancient relics of the past or rare configurations built for specialized warfare, these Dreadnoughts stand apart from the rest, each one a deadly force in its own right. Venerable Dreadnought. The Venerable Dreadnought is more than just a war machine. It is a living relic. The warriors interred in these sacred sarcophagi are not just battle brothers, but legends of their chapter, ancient veterans whose wisdom stretches back thousands of years. Their superior reflexes and experience make them deadlier than standard Castroferum dreadnoughts, and their reinforced armor is inscribed with the history of their countless battles. Few warriors earn the right to be enshrined in a venerable dreadnought, but those who do become the beating heart of their chapter, revered as teachers, warlords, and executioners of the Emperor's will. Ironclad Dreadnought. Where most dreadnoughts are designed for versatility, the Ironclad Dreadnought exists for one purpose: unrelenting close combat. Armored heavier than a standard Castra Ferrum, the Ironclad is a walking siege engine, built to smash through fortifications and tear enemy armor apart. It wields seismic hammers, chain fists, and hurricane bolters, designed to wade into the thick of battle and leave nothing standing in its wake. While slower than its counterparts, its sheer resilience makes it a terror on the battlefield. Where other dreadnoughts provide fire support, the Ironclad breaks through the walls and rips the enemy apart with its fists. Chaplain Dreadnought. Even in death, the faith of a chaplain does not fade. The Chaplain Dreadnought is a fusion of religious fervor and relentless destruction. Its deep vox amplifiers still roaring the Emperor's sermons as it strides into war. Armed with a Crozius-shaped power fist and storm bolters, it brings both spiritual and physical devastation. Librarian Dreadnought. A rarity among Space Marines, the Librarian Dreadnought is a psyker entombed in adamantium, wielding both the raw power of the warp and the brutal force of a dreadnought's might. These warriors unleash psychic storms alongside devastating weapons. They are both scholars and monsters, intellect and war, bound within a walking tomb of steel. Mortis Dreadnought. Not all dreadnoughts march into the front lines. The Mortis Dreadnought is a fire support platform designed for long-range warfare. Equipped with twin autocannons, missile launchers, or las cannons, it rains death upon enemy armor and aircraft alike. The most devastating configurations wield twin plasma cannons, turning the battlefield into a scorched wasteland. Some chapters deploy Mortis Dreadnoughts as sentinels, standing watch over vital locations for centuries, waiting for the day they are needed once more. Unlike their melee-focused cousins, the Mortis does not wade into the fray. It annihilates the enemy before they even get close. Chapter-specific Dreadnoughts. Some Dreadnoughts are more than just war machines. They are the soul of their chapter made manifest. Across the Imperium, different Space Marine chapters have modified and adapted Dreadnought designs to suit their own needs, doctrines, and traditions. These unique variants stand apart, each carrying the legacy of their brethren in ways no standard pattern could. Blood Angels, Furioso, and Death Company Dreadnoughts. The Furioso Dreadnought is the embodiment of Blood Angel's aggressive combat style. Unlike most Dreadnoughts, which balance ranged firepower with melee, the Furioso is built for nothing but close combat. It wields twin power fists, talons, or massive blood claws, cutting down enemies in a berserk rage. Even more terrifying is the Death Company Dreadnought. These warriors, consumed by the Black Rage, are interred not to save them, but to weaponize their madness. When they awaken, they are unleashed upon the enemy with no concern for survival, only slaughter. They do not fight for glory. They fight because they have already died. Space Wolves, Wolfen Dreadnought. The Wolfen Dreadnought is unique to the Space Wolves, a chapter already infamous for its savage nature. Some warriors, even in death, remain cursed by their gene seed, transforming into monstrous, half-feral beasts within their adamantium sarcophagi. These dreadnoughts, unlike others, fight with an almost animalistic brutality, wielding massive axes and frost claws rather than the traditional fists of their brethren. Where most dreadnoughts are revered as wise ancients, Wolfen dreadnoughts are seen as tragic abominations, feared as much as they are respected. They are the rage of Fenris, the last, desperate howl of warriors who will never know peace. Dark Angels, Mortis Dreadnought. The Dark Angels have long favored the Mortis pattern dreadnought, a ranged variant specializing in twin heavy weapons. Used extensively in their secretive campaigns against the Fallen, these dreadnoughts stand in silent vigilance, annihilating traitors from a distance before they can even react. Cold, calculating, and utterly relentless, they are executioners without mercy. Grey Knights, Psyker-infused dreadnought. The Grey Knights. Dreadnought is unlike any other, an armored warrior infused with psychic might. These war machines do not just fire guns, they unleash warp-charged devastation, combining force weapons with psychic storms. Against demons, they are unstoppable, their very presence anathema to the creatures of the warp. They do not just kill, they purge. Other notable chapter variants. Many other chapters have their own dreadnought traditions. The Salamanders, known for their resilience, deploy dreadnoughts with flame-spewing weapons, turning entire battlefields into firestorms. The Ultramarines, ever the tacticians, maintain entire battle companies of dreadnoughts, ensuring their ancient warriors always have a role in their meticulous strategies. Even the Raven Guard have modified their dreadnoughts for stealth, a seemingly impossible concept, utilizing advanced cloaking technology to turn these towering machines into silent assassins. No matter the chapter, one truth remains the same. So long as there is war, these warriors will never rest. Notable dreadnoughts in lore. Most dreadnoughts are nameless giants, their deeds lost in the endless wars of the Imperium. But some are more than just war machines. They are legends, whose names are whispered with reverence and fear across the galaxy. Bjorn the Fell-Handed. The oldest living warrior in the Imperium, Bjorn the Fell-Handed has fought since the days of the Great Crusade, standing at the side of Leman Russ himself. He is not just a dreadnought, he is history made manifest. For over 10,000 years, Bjorn has battled for the Space Wolves, wielding his massive frost claw and heavy plasma cannon. He is a walking relic, the last living link to an age when the Emperor still walked among men. When he awakens, it is said that his howls can be heard across Fenris, a reminder that even time itself cannot break the will of the Allfather's champions. Ancient Clytor. A Ultramarines dreadnought from the Horus Heresy era, Ancient Clytor is one of the last of his kind. He has fought for millennia, carrying the wisdom of countless battles within his armored frame. Unlike other dreadnoughts, he does not resent his fate, he embraces it. Clytor sees himself not as a relic, but as a guardian of the Imperium's future, teaching the young warriors of his chapter, while still delivering judgment on the battlefield. Brearth Ashmantle. A Salamander's hero, Brearth Ashmantle is more than just a warrior. He is wrath given form. Armed with twin flame projectors and siege hammers, he walks through war zones like an elemental force, reducing enemies to ash. Unlike most dreadnoughts, who retain some measure of humanity, Ashmantle is barely sane, his mind locked in an endless, fiery rage. He is not just a protector of the Imperium, he is its vengeance. The role of dreadnoughts in modern warfare. In the 41st millennium, war never ends, but neither do the dreadnoughts. On the battlefield, they serve as living artillery, siege breakers, and commanders, each one a mobile fortress of ceramite and steel. Their presence alone can turn the tide of battle. After all, how do you stop an enemy that has already died? Dreadnoughts serve in 3 key roles: frontline assault, ironclad, furioso, and leviathan. Dreadnoughts lead charges, smashing through enemy lines like walking battering rams. Fire support, Mortis, Deredio, and Redemptor dreadnoughts act as mobile turrets, laying down overwhelming suppressive fire. Strategic warfare, Venerable and Librarian. Dreadnoughts, wielding centuries of experience, become battlefield leaders, directing their brothers with the wisdom of the ancients. But even dreadnoughts are not invincible. Over time, their bodies degrade, their minds fracture. Some become lost in their memories, unable to distinguish past from present. Others grow violent, lashing out in berserk fury, leading some chapters to permanently seal them away, not out of reverence, but out of fear. Yet as long as war rages, they will continue to fight, until their bodies fail, until their sarcophagi shatter, until the galaxy itself is nothing but ruin. Because a dreadnought's war never ends. Conclusion: a dreadnought is more than a war machine. It is a testament to the indomitable will of the Emperor's finest. Warriors who refuse to die, who fight beyond the limits of flesh and bone, bound to their duty until the very end. From the revered venerable dreadnoughts to the cursed Death Company, from the monstrous Leviathans to the ancient Bjorn the Fell-Handed, each one carries the weight of history on its adamantium shoulders. They are warriors. They are relics. They are eternal, and as long as war rages, they will never rest.